This is KUGAN CASSIUS for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. We're at the Matchroom Gym. I'm joined by Ryder. We've just been having an interesting discussion about what we had as kids and what kids want now.
Yeah, crazy. Kids know too much nowadays.
I know. Like, you just pulled out the old Reebok Classics. That was a good pair of trainers, probably about 50 or 60 quid. The old white Classics. Yeah. If you got them, you were lucky.
Mate, I was sent to school in AstroTurf trainers every day and wear them because they're harder wearing and they'll last a bit longer. Well, get a pair of Reebok Classics, you'll kick them out in a week, wouldn't you? Have the tongue hanging off and everything.
Yeah, no, it's very, very different. Well, you're obviously ticking over in the gym at the minute, awaiting a fight date which we're assuming will come in January.
Yeah, we're looking at January 22nd, so full steam ahead as of yesterday. Monday. 10 weeks till fight night. I've been training the whole of this year. Had a couple of weeks off for my fight in Austria. Had a couple of weeks off after that, and then straight back in and just got off having a couple of weeks off again. So I'm ready to go again now, all for the end of January, and hopefully get a big name and a big fight.
You were being linked not too long ago with a fight with David Lemieux. Is there still a possibility of that fight materialising?
I hope so, because I feel that there's no bad blood there between me and him, but it's a fight that was meant to happen in 2019 and didn't happen. He got injured, so it'd be nice to get on eventually. I know he's fighting Benavidez. I think he's got a WBC final eliminator, so it's a shame. You got to fancy Benavidez in that fight, but we'll see in time. Do you know what I mean? Hopefully we can get that fight on if he wins, but if he loses, where does he go from there?
It must be a really kind of frustrating period of time for you, because when you were hitting really good form, you kind of wanted to carry that on with momentum and kind of just keep going, but just for whatever reasons, things haven't kind of panned out where you could get the fights that you wanted, which must be quite frustrating.
Yeah, I think having had a great 2019 and then getting into 2020, obviously COVID hit and just messed everything up. So I knew that start of 2020 I was in line for a big fight, and things were going to get back to winning ways and get cracking on full steam ahead. And it was just unfortunate that COVID hit and shows got put back, and we was severely locked down in the first lockdown and couldn't really do much.
If people were wondering why your eyes were veering that way, it's because Kevin Mitchell was trying to pull his trousers down in front of you, which is very Kevin Mitchell. John, when obviously Eddie Hearn was being asked questions about Canelo, and if Canelo was obviously fighting the UK, you would have seen these comments. What sort of, or who should I say, are the sort of opponents that Canelo would look for? And you're the kind of name that come up if he was to fight here. I know you were not going to take that literally for what Eddie's saying it, because he's just giving an example. If he fought here, you'd be considered as an opponent. But when you heard that, what was sort of going through your head?
Yeah, I think I'll take it with a pinch of salt. A lot of people get really excited about it, and the amount of people I've had messaging me, is it happening? And like mate, just because Eddie said it, don't mean it's happening. Do you know what I mean? But no, listen, I know Eddie's fighting my corner, and I know Charlie and Tony are driving him mad day in, day out. So I know he wants to give me a big fight and produce the goods for me. So listen, I'm hopeful that I can get that fight, whether it won't be my next fight, because obviously he's fighting up at cruiserweight, but you never know. At the end of 2022, hopefully we can get it on.
I think, like I said, the question about Canelo fighting the UK first of all, but then the second question is the fighters that he's been linked with over the years, he's now fought them all. The Saunderses, the Callum Smiths, etc. So if he was to fight here, no doubt it would be more than likely a UK opponent, and I think that was what was going through his head. You'd definitely be in the running for that. So I suppose it's not Eddie saying that, oh yeah, that's going to happen, but if he came over to the UK, there's a possibility that a fight with him could happen.
Yeah, no, of course. I think for Canelo, there's not much left to achieve if he wins up a cruiserweight. So I suppose he'll start the world tour, won't he? And if he's coming to England to fight, he's not going to fight an American, is he? It makes sense to fight an Englishman in England, and then go around the rest of the world and fight other nationalities.
Yeah, I mean, I saw comments from Eddie Reynoso. I'm sure that's what you're referring to, that he wants to fight in Dubai and the UK, and I think China was on there as well. So, yeah, I mean, that's a given that someone like Canelo would want to kind of fight outside of, America, Mexico, where he's had the majority of his fights.
Yeah, I think if he goes to China, he's going to fight the heavyweight. Never
Zhang.
write it off. Yeah, Zhang. Yeah, so you don't write it off. It could happen. It's potential. So you never know.
What's an ideal, if you could like pick it, what's an ideal 2022 for you?
Ideal 2022 is get a good win, January 22nd. Big name opponent, not sure who. Win that, look good doing so, maybe late stoppage. Have a week off, get straight back into camp for an early summer fight, maybe a world title eliminator, and then September time, get back in with a big man, hopefully in England.
Hopefully. I mean, yeah, like I said, we're seeing how this cruiserweight situation pans out, first of all, and then, I don't know, but there's going to be vacant belts there as well if he, possibly, if he relinquishes some. He's not going to be able to fulfil all his mandatories as well, so there are going to be belts there, I'm assuming, at some point.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, it's obviously great what he's doing, creating history, but I think now for the next 6 to 8 months, the super middleweight belts are all tied up and it's leaving everyone a bit stagnant. So hopefully in time a few of the belts will get freed up and then we can get fighting for them and then get ourselves into big fights with him or with whoever.
Well, I think everyone kind of has followed your career since you turned pro will kind of want something big for it to happen for you, especially for next year, because you've been patient long enough.
Yeah, they say patience is key, and I think I've got the full bunch now. So yeah, let's really crack on next year and get the big fights in and give everyone what they deserve.
Okay, John, thank you very much for talking to IFL TV. Have you got anything else you'd like to add before we finish?
If you want to be happy, don't watch mainstream news. Keep a clear head.
It's quite a deep comment there, but I see exactly where you're coming from.
Don't listen to all this scaremongering shit that's going on. Have your own opinion and be happy.
I think we can end on that. I like that. John Ryder, thank you very much for talking to IFL TV, and we'll await confirmation of your fight date and opponent when we get it. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Cheers, KUGAN.